Good afternoon, musicians. Welcome to your weekly music show on MCPSS TV. Hope you're all having a good week so far. It's not quite over as we come to an end here yet. We'll begin with our hello song as we usually do. If you remember it, sing along from home. Pat? Hello, musicians. Hello, musicians. Hello, musicians, play and sing along. Hello, musicians. Hello, musicians. Won't you sing and play along with me? Pat, pat, snap. Pat, pat, snap. Keep that going. And sing. Hello, musicians. Hello, musicians. Hello, musicians, play and sing along. Hello, musicians. Hello, musicians. Won't you sing and play along with me? All right. Now let's stand and sing our major scale. Starts with Do. Sing with me. 1, 2, ready, sing. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. One more. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. All right, let's review what we talked about last week. We learned last week a few musical definitions. We learned that pitch is how high or low a sound is. High, low, and everywhere in between. That's pitch. You also learned what the staff is. The staff is the group of lines and spaces where we read and write music. And the last definition from last week was melody, pitches that follow one another in a song. Remember that you have to have both rhythm and pitch in order to have melody. And after that, we learned to read and sing mi, so, and la on the staff. We read and sang those pitches, and we performed the melody of the song Acca-Bacca, reading both the rhythm and the pitch. This week, we're going to move forward with our idea of melody and how to understand melody on a little bit deeper level. I want you to look in the middle section here where it says objectives. Today we're going to learn the concept of the musical alphabet. We'll identify the treble clef symbol. We'll read the pitches E, G, and A on the staff. And we will perform a few songs using those pitches E, G, and A. Well, let's pick up just for fun where we left off last week, which was doing our rock and roll drum rhythm, our rock and roll drum beat, along with the song Acca-Bacca. If you remember from last week, to begin our rock and roll rhythm, we'll start with that right foot, quarter notes, bass drum, along with line 1. Then we'll add line 2, snare drum, on beats 2 and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we'll add our hi-hat, line 3, straight eighth notes. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay, let's get a pitch reference there. And we'll switch to the song Acca-Bacca. Get that bass drum going again. Nice and slow. Snare. Acca-Bacca, soda cracker. Acca-Bacca, boo. Acca-Bacca, soda cracker. Out goes you. One more time. Acca-Bacca, soda cracker. Acca-Bacca, boo. Acca-Bacca, soda cracker. Out goes you. And remember, at home, You can use anything you've got laying around the house to make a basic rock and roll drum beat. Well, we did Akabaka last week using just our 2-line staff. We learned that the top line represents the sound for so, just like with our major scale. The space above the top line represents la, and the bottom line, when we have our 2-line staff, represents mi, from the major scale like we do at the beginning of each week. But we're going to go a little bit deeper with the staff today. We're going to begin to use more lines and spaces than what we did last week with our simple 2-line staff. And now I need to introduce you to the idea of the musical alphabet. Well, just like we have an English alphabet, which we use to read and to write in the language English, there's a musical alphabet. And musicians use this musical alphabet to read and write in the language of music. Now, you know that the English alphabet has 26 letters, from the first letter A all the way to the last letter Z, and every letter in between. The musical alphabet is a little bit different. We don't need 26 letters in the musical alphabet. We only need 7. So just like with the English alphabet, we begin with A, and we move forward one letter at a time. But when we get to the letter G, that's where we stop. After G, we're going to return to A and then keep going from there. So let's sing the major scale, this time not using sounds like do, re, mi. We're going to use letter names. Let's begin at C. Now again, when we get all the way up to G, we're going to return to A, and we'll keep going till we get to C a second time, just like when we sing the do, re, mi sounds. We call that solfege. Just like when we sing solfege, we return to do. Here we're going to return to C. So let's get a pitch reference. There's our C. I want you to sing those letters with me at home, beginning on C. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. One more time. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. All right. Thank you for doing that with me at home and singing along. We can use our staff to identify pitch. So today we're going to move from that simple 2-line staff to our 5-line staff, just like I promised last week. Each letter is represented somewhere on the musical staff. Now, when we have a staff like this, we're going to have 5 lines and 4 spaces between those lines. But how do you know which letter goes on which line or which space? I'm going to show you that today. The lines represent the pitches E, G, B, D, and F. So if we begin at the bottom, we begin with E, move up to the second line, G, third line, B, fourth line from the bottom, D, and the fifth line and last line, F. But that still seems a little bit tricky in the beginning when you're first learning this new language of reading and writing music. How do you remember it? Well, as you can see, I have a sentence listed at the bottom. This is just a little mnemonic device, a memory device that can help you to remember here in the beginning when you're just beginning to learn to read music. The sentence goes, "Every good boy does fine." That's a great way to remember the lines of the staff. Now, you can make up any old sentence as long as every word of your sentence begins with these letters in this order. Another example might be, elephants get big, dirty feet. That's a silly, funny one. But the common one and the one you'll hear most often is the one right here on your chart. Every good boy does fine. Well, how about the spaces between those lines? We have 4 of them, and this one is a little bit simpler because it spells out a word, face. So again, starting from the bottom, we always begin at the bottom when we're talking about the musical staff. Starting from the bottom, F on the first space, A, second space from the bottom, C, third space from the bottom, and E, face. Easy enough to remember. So if you're here in the beginning, learning how to read music, use these memory tools, these mnemonic devices, to help you to remember and figure out what the letter name is for each line or space of the staff. Now, this symbol is called a treble clef. Here at the very beginning, we'll talk a little bit more about that symbol in just a moment, but I want to do with you now a song that can also help you to remember those lines and spaces. Now, I want to do a shout out to my friend and fellow elementary music teacher, Miss Denise Willis. She's a fabulous elementary music teacher, and this is her original song, so she allowed me to do this with you all today, and I use it in my classroom. My students love it. I hope you enjoy it here at home too. Repeat after me. My turn, then your turn. Say what I say, do what I do. We're going to pretend that your hand represents the staff. Your fingers represent the lines of the staff, E, G, B, D, and F, always starting from the bottom and moving up towards the top. And we're going to pretend that those 4 spaces between your fingers represent the spaces of the staff, F, A, C, E, face. So now that you're familiar with how you're going to use your hand as a staff, and we have here on the board each letter, so that hopefully will help you to keep up, because I know it is tricky here in the beginning when we're just learning this. But repeat after me, looking at the board if you need to help you to remember. Repeat after me. Do you like this? Throw your staff up. Throw your staff up. I got my every good boy does fine. I got my every good boy does fine. I got my E, G, B, D, F. I got my E, G, B, D, F. Throw your staff up. Throw your staff up. I got my F-A-C-E, face in the space. I got my F-A-C-E, face in the space. Throw your staff up. Throw your staff up. All right, that's such a fun song. Thank you, Miss Willis. Now let's return to this symbol, the treble clef. These mnemonic devices, every good boy does fine, and F-A-C-E, face, these only work when you're on a staff that has a treble clef. As you develop in your study of music, you may begin to read music and perform music using other clefs. If you do that, you'll learn how to read those clefs, and it will be a little bit different. But beginning with the treble clef is an excellent way to begin your study of the staff and where these pitches are. And if you do move forward and use bass clef, for example, the pitches will be different. You'll learn how to read those too. Don't worry. It's no problem learning to read other clefs as well. But let's begin right here on the treble clef. Another word for treble clef is G clef. Let me show you why. If we go back and look at this page, the G is on the second line from the bottom. Well, this treble clef, it's a funny looking symbol. Almost looks like a fancy letter S. The circle here at the bottom of the treble clef, or the G clef, goes right around that second line from the bottom where we have the letter G. That's why we call it the G clef. So again, this device will only work when you're using treble clef to perform your music. Now we're going to do a song or two, and we're going to learn to read just a few of those pitches. If we tried to read every line and every space in a real song right now, it'd probably be too soon to do that. So let's start with just 3 in order to keep it simple, keep it practical, and do something we can actually succeed at. Let's just limit our songs today to 3 pitches. Just like last week, we had so, mi, and la. Today we're going to focus on the letter names that go with those 3 pitches in the key of C. So here's our process for learning a song in this way. First, we'll listen to the melody along with the lyrics, melody being pitch and rhythm. And then we will speak the rhythm only because we want to have a good, solid rhythmic foundation when we're learning a song. Once we've gotten the rhythm where it needs to be, we will speak the pitch. Don't worry about singing just yet. It's too soon. After we've got the rhythm, we will speak the pitch, speaking only, using the letter names. And then we will sing the pitch, again using letter names. Then we'll return back to the melody with the lyrics and read that melody on the staff. Last week, I promised you we would jump from our 2-line staff with Akabaka to our 5-line staff with Akabaka. So here it is. I want you to notice that we do have a treble clef, so our memory device will work. I want you to notice that your staff has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lines, just like it should. And between those 5 lines, 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces. Again, let's begin by singing the song with the lyrics and the melody. There's your first pitch, it's a G. Let's sing the words together. 1, 2, ready, go. Acca-bacca, soda cracker, acca-bacca, boo. Acca-bacca, soda cracker, out goes you. One more time. Acca-bacca, soda cracker, acca-bacca, boo. Acca-bacca, soda cracker, out goes you. Okay, now let's move to the next step, which is reading the rhythm. You remember from a couple of weeks ago that our 8th notes are counted using the beat number for the downbeat, the first half of the beat, and the word and for the upbeat, the second half of the beat, no matter what beat we're on. So let's count our 8th notes in that way. Remember that your quarter rest, silence for 1 beat, we're going to count the beat number, but we're going to count it silently because a quarter rest does represent silence for 1 beat. And we're going to count our quarter notes simply using the beat number that we are on. So let's try it together, nice and slow. 1, 2, ready, go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3. Again. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3. Good. We've got the rhythm. Now we need to speak the pitch. The pitch G, we know from our sentence, every good should be on that second line from the bottom. So we begin by singing two Gs. Well, the second space is what we have next, and we know from the word face, F-A, that the A should be on that second space from the bottom. So after that, we have two A's. We return to G, G, and now we have a pitch that we have not yet had in this song. It's on the very bottom, the first line of the staff. Do you remember what it is? I'm going to give you a minute to think about it. If you said E, you're right. E for every. So now we finally have the letter E. Let's go from the beginning to the end, speaking only the pitch letter names. Again, nice and slow. 1, 2, ready, go. G, G, A, G, G, E, E, G, G, A, G. G, G, A, G, G, E, E, G, G, E. One more time. G, G, A, G, G, E, E, G, G, A, G. G, G, A, G, G, E, E, G, G, E. Now let's sing those letter names. There's your pitch reference. That's a G. G. 1, 2, ready, sing. G, G, A, G, G, E, E, G, G, A, G. G, G, A, G, G, E, E, G, G, E. One more time. G, G, A, G, G, E, E, G, G, A, G. G, G, A, G, G, E, E, G, G, E. Good work. Thank you for singing those letter names along with me at home. Let's return to the melody along with the lyrics or the words of the song. 1, 2, sing the words. Acca, bacca, soda, cracker, acca, bacca, boo. Acca, bacca, soda, cracker, out goes you. One more time. Acca, bacca, soda, cracker, acca, bacca, boo. Acca, bacca, soda, cracker, out goes you. All right. We learned today that the musical alphabet has 7 letters, A through G. You also learned to identify the treble clef symbol, or the G clef. It has that circle around the G line, second line from the bottom. You learned that the pitch letter names for each line and space of the treble clef staff using a sentence like, every good boy does fine, or the word face, F-A-C-E. You read the pitches, E, G, and A on the staff, and you finally performed a song using the pitches E, G, and A. Excellent job hanging in there with me this week. Next week, we'll do the same process using a couple other songs, Bye Baby Bunting and Bounce High, Bounce Low. We can use this on any song that uses those 3 pitches. Stay safe again this weekend and this coming week. Y'all be safe. Take care of yourself. We miss you. See you next time.